You say that now.
Listen, I'm just saying, man.
At 7:45.
Huh?
We'll see at 7:45 tomorrow.
Oh man, and that's go. Hey, listen, y'all. I know, yeah, everybody's tuning in real quickly, but make sure Friday mornings, Power 108.9. I'm about to introduce you to uh the individual I have a chance of sitting alongside on those Friday mornings.
Right there.
We get the clown in just a little bit. Oh man, what's
Are
going
we
on, Mike?
live? Are we live?
Oh yeah, we're live, man. We live.
Oh, okay. I can share this with people to say, hey, come watch me.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
He's about for sure.
Trying to give some people a chance to join really quickly, but
Oh, some people are gonna be joining for real.
yeah.
Oh, man, we ain't telling me I would have did something to my hair, man. All right.
Um, Mike, I appreciate you you joining this evening. Want to have a quick conversation with you. Father's Day is around the corner, and wanted to just you know have an opportunity of individuals like yourself to come on board and have just a quick conversation of fatherhood and what it means to you or whatever. You and I have had a chance to work in so many different capacities. Before I even go into my one or two questions, because I know you're a busy dude, and again, I appreciate you jumping on real quick. Just tell it if you want to give the elevator version, who you are, where you're from, all that good stuff.
So my name is Michael Mcfadden. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, from the SWATs over there, Camden Road, Ben Hill area, by way of Southeast DC. Yeah, that I get to claim both cities. I'm actually the CEO of Power 108.9, a 24-hour internet radio station that plays a mix of all your favorite hits as well as several live talk shows that we do throughout the week. And then, like you said, Elam, I'm a dad, a one-time dad of an awesome 24-year-old son.
Okay. Okay. Come on, 24 years in the game. That's what's up,
Yeah.
sir.
now,
Hey, and go ahead.
now, I was gonna say, and I've been married for 25 years. You see how
Come
that works?
on. Come on, man. I see how that works. See, we go we, we can go relationship in a minute, don't listen, but 24 years as a father, that's fantastic. It actually was one of the reasons why that I chose you as one of the individuals for the upcoming book, Understanding a Man, Memoirs of a Father to His Son, part text, part video. People are going to get a chance to see you dropping just some bombs. And what we did that like 2 years ago, so
Yeah,
it's
I
just
remember
now.
that. Yeah.
This, this was the pandemic project for me, and so I appreciate you for being a part of that, along with the other 23 men as well. So you say you've been a dad for 24 years, and I know also that your son's in the military,
Yeah,
right?
he actually just celebrated his. I don't know if you say celebrated, but he just hit
Hmm.
3 years in the United States Army.
Okay.
He's in communications. He actually made the decision to go to the Army after Auburn University, and I think
Okay.
it was one of those grown man decisions that he made
Okay.
in his life. So right now, for people that are watching now, he's currently over in Germany right now, doing
Okay.
a big training exercise over there. But yeah, he's actually doing good, man.
So, first of all, appreciate if your son is watching. Thank you for your service, young McFadden. We appreciate you and what you do out here. And then also for you as well. You're also a veteran, so I thank you for your service as
I
well.
appreciate that.
So let's just look at that. I mean, how is that as a father that has a son overseas? And I guess you're a little tenured because maybe he left home at 18 to go to Auburn. So you've gotten maybe what, a 8 year, 7 year, what's my math, 6 year window of being able to release, I guess I can say, him into society. But it's a little different when they're a little bit around the corner, because Auburn's not too far from here, versus like a whole world and two away. How have you managed that mentally?
I think I'm the type of dad, man, where I feel confident enough that I instill, some great values in them. I
Hmm.
always tell parents at the end of the day, we teach our kids the things that we want to know, especially like soft skills, right? I'm a soft skills kind of guy.
Right.
good people skills, good communication skills, being respectful for people, standing by your word, just things like that. And I think like with the ammunition that as a dad, I was able to arm him with into going into society on his own. I felt
Mm-hmm.
confident about it, and
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, I feel confident that he's going to make great decisions.
Right.
I'm one of the most optimistic people that you will ever meet. So
Okay.
regardless of his situation, I'm always looking at the bright side of things. Hey,
Okay.
like you mentioned, when he made a decision to go into the Army, once he finished his basic training and finished his AIT training, his
Mm-hmm.
first duty station was in Korea. So he
Okay.
was
Oh,
gone for a year as
right.
soon as he got into the military. So being able to see him grow as a man without us there to protect him, I think that gave him a little bit more leverage in life to where he felt a little bit more confident that he didn't have us around and he can be able to maneuver life without his parents, being right there.
And so you say the word parents, and so I want to purposely take a moment and highlight that. Shout out to Tasha. I know you joining us, Tasha. Hey, Tasha. Love her. Love you guys' story. And so some people might think, okay, little baby bird leave the nest or whatever, that the mother's heart pulls maybe more than the father's heart or whatever. That is, maybe it's easy. Is it easier? Do you think it's easier for you versus Tasha, or what would you think? What do you
Oh
think
yeah,
there?
100%, 100%. Like she when he first went to when he went to basic training and he didn't have his phone and he couldn't communicate as frequently as he did when he was down at Auburn. Oh, she was a hot mess.
Hmm.
But what I had to do as a husband, like I had to step back and be respectful of her feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that comes with being married for 25 years, right?
Hmm.
Like you have to
Hmm.
understand just because you don't feel a certain way about a situation doesn't mean that your spouse is going to feel that same way. So I was very understanding about
Hmm.
how she felt. So to answer your question, oh yeah, mom was a total wreck and
Hmm.
still is to this day. But
Hmm.
I know how to keep her encouraged. You know what I'm saying? I know how to bring her back to the bright side of things. And at the end of the day, we all know Malik is doing one. He's doing something that is gratifying to him at this point in his life, and then
Uh-huh.
two, that he's going to make sure that he check in and communicate with his mom.
So would you say sometimes as a father and also as a husband, but I'm going to come particularly as a father, right? When you have those moments, whether kid just broke their leg or a kid goes overseas, is there I know as a father, I'm going to say for me, that there's moments where I'm scared or I'm worried or I feel some type of way. But, we have a tendency sometimes to try to straighten our backs because we know that already maybe the mom or other family members, other siblings maybe feel some type of way. So you got to, I know for me, it's a suppression. I believe that we do. And so I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it's kind of like a suppression of your feelings that we do for the sake of, hey, got a lead right now. Everybody else is crying. I got to pull my tears back. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but have you found yourself having to do that as a father? I mean, I just want to make sure that that's something that's expressed and said, but that's something that I do. But I just want to see, is that something that you find yourself as a father having it to have done over the past 24 years?
Yeah, I think that's one of those characteristics as black men that still is still within us, right? We know what our parents and grandparents taught us as kids, as men, right? Don't show emotion and all that kind of stuff. And I really do think that for me personally, I still do that. I still tend to do that, right? I
Mhm.
won't. I have to be strong for wifey, and I have to be strong in front of Malik. But at the same time, too, man, there are those times. Hell, I can watch a damn Publix commercial and cry in front of Malik. So he understands my sensitivity level. But at the
Mhm.
same time, I think, like I said in the beginning, um, as a father, you prepare them for. You can only prepare them so much for what they're going to be encountering in life.
Mhm.
How they react is going to be their biggest test. And
Mhm.
like I said earlier, that's what I think we've done a good job at, is making sure that we prepared him correctly to make the right decisions.
So even in preparation, because I'm going to go here for a second, since you brought up a key factor of even like the Publix commercial, right? I mean, as we're getting older, you're like, huh, what's that twinge in the corner of my eye, right? And but here's the thing, but we were taught what I would say is a portion of some toxic masculinity,
Yep.
to whereas that we don't show emotion or that we can't feel. So it is easy for, I guess I can say, us to just retract back because this is what we were literally taught how to do. I think that both parents at times have to do certain things and suppress certain things, but I would just say in this space of worry or fear or just sorrow, we we're not I'm not talking about the positive stuff. I'm just talking about, but it was even some men, they're happy and they can't even really express their happy and their joy because they're like, I don't want to sound like I'm like super geeked up, right? So
Right.
even on happy, for some people, they're just kind of like even keel, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I gotta act like this was always gonna happen even though I was worried as I don't know what, right? It was that moment where you really wanted to jump up and down and say yes, because I had no idea that this was gonna happen, but you can't say it, right? So is there some work that we need to do as men in this space, or just from a subculture perspective of being able to share and express our emotions without feeling like that we're going to diminish or make our sons, particularly, that we're not going to make our sons weaker by us emoting in front of them?
I think what I've been able to do over these uh, 24 years with Malik is I've been able to open up to different types of feelings, right? Feelings that as a black man that you probably wouldn't express to your child because like you said, you want to put up this strong united front, blah, blah, blah. But there's not a day that goes by one where when I'm able to communicate with Malik, where I always let him know that I love him, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I always let him know that. Always let him know how proud I am of him.
Okay.
Celebrate his achievements with him. When he comes home, like I am just as emotionally happy as wifey is. Um,
Okay.
wifey is trying to take up all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, go up to the outlets
Come
and
on, Tasha.
go dinner. I'm trying to go over here to Sports Social and do some shots and drink some beer with them. So he sees certain levels of vulnerability from me, and I've been able to release those as I've gotten older, and as I've gotten to understand that it's okay to
I
do
like
that.
that.
So with that balance, like having that balance and the way that I can show it to him, he understands it. But like you
Mm.
said, there are certain things like fear. Like I'm there'll never be a point to where I'm fearful for whatever position that he's in. When he got
Okay.
called up to go to Germany, right? I wasn't scared, right? I wasn't nervous about it when this Ukraine Russia thing jumped off, and he got the call to say, hey, he got a call on Saturday that he needed to come back to the base, and by Tuesday he was in Germany. So I
Wow.
wasn't afraid. Like
Wow.
I was excited for him because he was being pushed to a limit that he's never done before. And a lot of
Mm.
men at his age have never been put in that type of situation.
Right.
So,
That's yeah, it's a Saturday, Tuesday. Yeah, sitting chilling and in Germany.
and now they're in
3 days
Germany.
later.
So instead of me being afraid for him, I was excited for that opportunity that he was getting ready to hit. And I let him
Good.
know. And now the conversations that we have when we're able to talk to him is that excitement of being in a different country, learning, new people. Like it's exciting for him.
Let me say this because we're gonna wrap up in a second. If you had to give, I want two pieces of advice for you, real quickly. The first is going to be, any advice to the new dads that might have their sons that just went over there. Any advice to them? If you had to give like a 30 second minute inspiration to them, what would you say to the dads out there?
Hey, dads, remember the United States of America has the most powerful military in the world. They are in good hands. We got great leaders out there that are developing these young men into soldiers, and we got great leaders out there that they look up to and that lead them into the situations that they are. So, hey, they're in the right hands. Trust me.
That's perfect. And I appreciate you sharing that. And last but not least, I want to say, because something that you said earlier that was very interesting. You said that your son went to Auburn first, right? Graduated and then went to the military, right? So this was one of the questions that was actually in the book regarding, a young man making a decision between college, entrepreneurship, and military, right? And what the advice was, and you were one of the individuals that gave the advice um, about the military. So, but in your case, your son did both. How did that conversation go? And to top it, to end off, what advice can you give to young men that are considering going into the military? Because folks just graduated high school, so literally right now, young men are making this decision right now of whether they're going to go to college, whether entrepreneur, whether they're going to do military. So it's very poignant at this moment that people are graduating. So those two things, comment about the military, and then also what was the first thing I said?
The college deal.
Yeah, that part.
So the decision for when Malik graduated from high school to go to college, I gotta say that's one of those parent things, right? Once our kids graduate from high school, one of the things on the list is going to a college, right? We want our kids to go to college, and really, let's be real, not just any college, because as a parent, you would love to say that your child goes to Spelman, or your child goes to Auburn University when you're
or Hampton University.
Yeah. So that conversation is really, that's the parent's ego. To me, that's how I feel. That's their ego, being able to say what their child is doing. And once again, is that the right decision? It all depends on your household. Now, when Malik made his conscious decision to say that he wanted to go into the military, one of the things that I admire about that decision is it was his decision. And I think that one of the mistakes that we make as parents is we continue till this day to try to live their lives for them. You got to let your kids make their own. You got to let them figure it out, right? You got to let them be able to explore and find out what it is that they want to do in their lives. And it's okay for them to do it. For parents out there and their kids are making a decision whether or not they want to go to college or they want to go to the military. One thing, the military is not a bad place, right? I remember back in the day, the military used to be the perception with the military is this is the last resort.
Right. Yes. After everything else, you're just like, okay, yeah, you need some discipline. Okay, yeah, you're not doing nothing in life. It was.
But guess what? Today's military, they don't do that. If you're not there to give 100% and take advantages of the opportunities that are there in the United States military, they don't want you. If you're just sitting around, being lazy, if you're not trying to use the college resources that they have to earn degrees and stuff like that, if you're not looking to get promoted and move, and just all those type of benefits of being a military soldier, they don't want you anymore. So don't make the military a last resort for kids. Once again, give them an opportunity to make a decision on how they want to live their life.
That's good. And the part about if a young man is making a decision right now, how should he think regarding? Well, I guess you kind of just touched on it. Anything else? I'm just saying specifically, if you had to speak to those high schoolers that are making that decision right now, what would be your feedback to them of whether what they should do in addition to some of the stuff you've already said?
Hey, do what makes you happy. You got to live with yourself for the rest of your life.
Come on.
You got to live with yourself. And you always hear the analogy when you fly on an airplane. What do they say? When that mask come down, do what? Put your mask on first. And
that's
then
right.
help everybody else. Because honestly, at the end of the day, if you're not happy within yourself, there's no way that you can make anybody in your circle happy. So it starts with you, partner. I don't care how old you are. It starts with you.
And man, you're trying to go for another hour on that one right there. But just to the young men, the last phrase that Mike just said, it's very important for you now to begin to make sure that you're valuing yourself just as much as, society might ask you to value other things. But value yourself in the direction that you want to go to first. I couldn't have said it any better than what Mike just said.
Well, I appreciate that, Big King. That's hard to do on Fridays with y'all in here.
Dude, I'm just saying that's what it is. I mean, that level of value, you got to live with you for the rest of your life. And so, yes, that was the way that we thought about back in the day. That military was the last, and so that's why I wanted to include that in as one of the chapters within the book. And it's a wide array of different answers, but the underlying portion is about your level of happy. And at
Yes.
that point, you got to go inward and search there first. I don't even want to go over what Mike said because Mike just really said it. Thank you so much, Mike, for just jumping
My
on real
pleasure.
quick. I know we got some people with comments and stuff like that, but this is just really quickly wanted to come on and just kind of talk to some of the dads that were involved in the book Memoirs of a Father to a Son. It's going to be available on Father's Day. Super excited. You can visit us at elambking.com to get more information regarding it. And, Mike, just keep being great out there. Again, appreciate your service. Appreciate the service of your son and what he's doing right now. And wishing traveling mercies and all that good stuff. When's he supposed to be home?
Don't have a date yet, man, but we counting down.
Okay.
We counting down.
That's what's up. All right, sir. Thank you so much. Again, where can people follow you, man, before we run?
DC, the number 2 ATL. And you can always check out the website, power1089.com, or just simply say, hey, Alexa, play Power 108.9. Let's go.
And we'll see you on Friday mornings as well. All right, y'all. Appreciate everybody joining. Thanks, Mike, man. Thank you for dropping some nuggets on us, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace.
Peace.